My name is Karen Gonzalez. This is for Mathematics of Elementary Teachers 1, specifically Professor Bruce's class. I decided to do my lesson topic on problem solving and sequences. So in this lesson, students will apply problem solving strategies to count and add numbers with an emphasis on sequences and basic addition. They will demonstrate their understanding by solving a word problem that involves adding two sets of objects from a real world content. I decided to choose this topic just because personally for me, I would like to emphasize in choosing the first grade and my students being ESL learners. So along with a little bit of mathematics that I'll be teaching with this is going to be just basic vocabulary that I'd like my students to learn. So it's kind of a 2-in-1, which makes it really, really helpful. Now, the objective is that the students will be able to use problem-solving strategies to count and add numbers, and they'll demonstrate an understanding by solving a word problem. So this specific word problem is that I'd present is there are 3 apples and 2 bananas in the basket. How many fruits are in the basket? So the students would practice using like apples and bananas, and in addition, strategies to find the total number of fruits. Now, the academic language that we could use, obviously, is problem-solving strategies, count, addition, sequences, real-world context, word problems, set of objects, things like that. Now, some of the national and state learning standards that I'm going to use, I'm from Texas, so I would be using TEKS, so TEKS 1.3, TEKS 1.4. So the student applies mathematical process and standards to solve problems involving addition and subtraction of whole numbers. And the student uses place value to compare, compose, and decompose numbers. So it's pretty neat. I also forgot to mention the English ones that I would be using. Obviously, I could circle around and add those too. I'd be happy to. I just didn't have them listed on the lesson plan currently because I wanted to really focus on that math concept. Now, the materials that I would focus on using if I were to teach this lesson plan would be like counting objects like small plastic apples, small plastic bananas, or even like any other fruit, maybe some oranges, pineapples, watermelons, whatever we wanted to use in that lesson plan. That way, with students being ESL learners, they have a more basic understanding of like what each fruit looks like and how they can kind of reference each one as we go. I also mentioned large chart paper or whiteboard, just so students can have access to write down the problem, draw numbers even if that helps. I know I'm a visual learner, so it really, really helps when I get to see something or draw something out. I also did a simple vocabulary chart. Again, with them being ESL learners, they might not know what add means, or total, or more, or count, or banana, or apple, or just little words like that we can help develop the language and the math. Story problem props, so maybe a small basket or a small container that kind of, we can put the 3 apples in the basket, or we can put the 2 bananas in the basket, whatever, just so they can get like a visual representation of what we're actually doing. That way, if we do subtraction as well, that they have a visual understanding of what's actually happening. I'd start by asking the students things they've seen in their daily lives, like maybe in their parents' kitchen, at home, in the cafeteria, maybe even in our classroom, just to kind of make those references and kind of make them think a little bit. Writing that word problem on the board. That way they can actually see the problem and what we're looking for. Also with providing the visual representations of bananas and apples and all that good stuff. And then a little differentiation that I can do for the ESL students is definitely using those visuals throughout the lesson and encouraging students to point to the objects as they count. I think that makes a huge difference as well. For my assessment, I thought that for my formative assessment, I wanted to do like a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. I think it's an easy way to communicate with the children and to kind of get a good idea of where they all are. It's quick and it's nonverbal, so that also helps as well. And then for summative, I did written word problems, short answers. So, maybe there are 6 apples and 4 oranges in the basket, just to demonstrate the student's ability to apply the addition concept or the subtraction concept. So that's really neat. My activity instruction would be in a group setting. I really wanted to focus on that because I think as a group, they could help each other kind of bounce ideas off. It's very interactive. It's very collaborative. And I think that all comes together. Each table would probably have 4 kids. You give them each bananas, each apples, each oranges, or whatever the case is. That way they can kind of have a group reflection and to see how exactly to get there. And then my extension activity would just be to find parental support. So like adults can assist students with the assignment, ensuring that they understand how to solve the problem. So going home, going into the kitchen, hey mom, can you help me with this? Maybe grabbing, some apples, or even drawing them if fruits aren't available at home. Maybe taking some colored pencils home or crayons or whatever the case is. After kind of having that reinforcement at home, coming back to school in the next session and kind of reviewing in class what they also touched base with their family, their own personal understanding, and, bringing it all together where it all started in the classroom. So that's basically everything that I have. I think this whole entire assignment or lesson plan would be done within maybe 30-45 minutes. With the exception of the very next day review, probably some 10-15 minutes. Thank you for listening along, and I look forward to anything else. Have a good day.